All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about something that honestly touches every single one of us online: digital accessibility. We're going to explore what it really means to build a digital world that works for everyone. And we'll start with a task you probably think is super simple, but you might be surprised. So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll look at a simple QR code and see how it's not so simple for everybody. Then, I'll show you a really clever solution that's probably on your phone right now. After that, we're going to zoom way out to look at the big principles for the entire web and wrap up with why all of this is so important. Okay, so let's start with a piece of tech we see literally everywhere, right? From restaurant menus to concert tickets. It seems totally straightforward, but is it? I want you to really think about that for a second. You see a QR code. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, you pull out your phone, you point it, and bam, you're done. It feels completely automatic, seamless. But what if it wasn't? What if there were all these hidden hurdles in that one simple action? Well, for a person with low vision, this simple task is actually a huge challenge. Step one, just finding that little black and white square on a busy poster or a cluttered table. Then comes the really tricky part: trying to perfectly center that code in the camera's viewfinder, something most of us do without a second thought. And the whole time, you're just guessing. Am I too close? Too far away? It's a process just filled with friction and frustration. So, that's the problem. It's a really specific, tangible barrier. But what's truly amazing is that a powerful solution to this already exists on millions and millions of devices. And this is where it gets really cool. Look at how technology just knocks down every single one of those barriers. You can't frame the code? Don't worry, the phone's software just finds it automatically once it's anywhere in view. You're not sure about the distance? No problem. Your phone literally talks to you saying, move closer or move farther away. And just to find the code in the first place, the Magnifier app has a mode that actively seeks it out for you. I mean, that is a beautiful example of thoughtful, inclusive design. You know, the key thing here is how this was done. It wasn't some separate, clunky app you had to download. This accessibility was built right into the core experience of the phone, making it completely seamless for the people who need it most. And this is where our story gets much bigger. Because, solving the QR code problem is amazing, but it's just one tiny interaction in a massive digital universe. We've got to celebrate wins like this. It proves that when we design with intention and with empathy, we can eliminate these barriers and create some truly helpful technology. But it also brings up a much bigger question. What about, well, everything else? Your banking website, applying for a job, online classes, news articles. How do we scale this kind of thoughtful design so the entire web isn't just a minefield of thousands of other hidden hurdles? So to answer that, we have to go from these specific fixes to some universal principles. And thankfully, there is a framework that guides developers and designers in building a web that's more open for everybody. In the US, a really key piece of this is the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA. Now, what's fascinating is this law was passed way back in 1990, long before the web was, well, the web. But its core idea that public spaces have to be accessible has been extended to our digital public spaces. This means websites for businesses and government are required to be accessible to everyone. So what do these digital roadblocks actually look like? Well, it can be an image without a text description, what's called alt text, which makes it totally invisible to someone using a screen reader, or a video without captions, which is just silence for someone who's deaf or hard of hearing. Poor color contrast can make text literally unreadable, and online forms that demand a mouse, they just completely lock out anyone who can't use one. These are the digital walls we have to tear down. And to fix all this, the guidelines boil down to 4 main goals. First, perceivable. Can people actually take in the information? That's your alt text and captions. Second, operable. Can users interact with everything on the site? So making sure it all works with a keyboard, not just a mouse. Third, understandable. Does it make sense? The language needs to be clear, navigation predictable. And last, robust. Does it work with different kinds of tech? A well-built site has to work on your phone, your laptop, and with assistive tools like screen readers. Okay, so with those principles in mind, let's pull back and look at the big picture. Why does this all really, truly matter? I absolutely love this quote because it just nails it. A digital curb cut. Think about the sloped curbs on sidewalks, right? They were originally designed for people in wheelchairs. But who uses them now? Literally everyone. Parents pushing strollers, travelers pulling luggage, delivery drivers with carts. They made the physical world better for everybody. And that is exactly what digital accessibility does. Yeah, the benefits go way beyond just one group. I mean, think about it. Someone with a broken arm suddenly needs to use their computer with one hand. A person on the noisy train needs captions to watch a video. An older adult whose eyesight is changing benefits from high-contrast text. And, at the end of the day, a website that's clear, logical, and easy to use is just a better website for every single person. So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this. Accessibility isn't some extra feature you tack on at the end. It's not just about checking a compliance box. It is absolutely foundational to good design, period. It makes the digital world better for everyone. And that brings us right to our final question, which is for you. It doesn't matter if you're a designer, a developer, a content creator, or just a person using the web. We all have a part to play. So think about it. How will you help build a more open, more accessible, and more welcoming web for all of us? Thanks for watching.